It's a Friday night forecast here on the Bills Bunker and Built in Buffalo YouTube channel. I'm your guy Jake with A Rich. How you doing today?
Jake, man, I'm good, man. A Rich, Hakeem Richens, Built in Buffalo, Bills Bunker, Friday night live. I'm excited. How you doing, bro?
I'm just as excited as you, and I'm looking forward to this Sunday's game against the Steelers. But I want to talk about something that really it made me ecstatic hearing the news of the Brandon Bean extension, multi-year deal. How you feeling about this?
You know what, Jacob? I like how you wasted no time getting to the meat and potatoes. Brandon Bean extension is something all of us Buffalo Bills fans wanted to see, right? We saw earlier in the season Sean McDermott, he get extended. We know head coaches and GM, they're in unison. So we was all wondering, why the hell isn't Brandon Bean signed yet? But it was only a matter of time, and he got his extension, and I'm excited for him. I'm excited for Brandon Bean, and I'm excited for the future of the Buffalo Bills. This is the man that found our franchise quarterback. This will be the third year out of 4 years in their tenure. They made the playoffs. And Brandon Bean, can I say this? Sean McDermott, Brandon Bean, they are normalizing winning for the Buffalo Bills. The extension was warranted.
They are, eh? They really are. And that's my Canadian, eh? Um, but yeah, they've turned this franchise around, and I think that this duo of Sean McDermott and Brandon Bean, our front office is set, and it's gonna be set for a long time to come. Like I'm super stoked about this.
I love it, man. I love it.
This week we have an opponent in the Pittsburgh Steelers that were undefeated prior to last week's loss against the Washington football team. And, they've had some, like
Yeah.
their competition hasn't been the best.
Mhm.
So the big question, are the Pittsburgh Steelers overrated?
No. The Pittsburgh Steelers, in my opinion, are not an overrated football team. We talked about the Buffalo Bills and their ugly win against the New York Jets. We talked about the Buffalo Bills and not blowing teams out like the Chargers, right? But at the same time, a win is a win. And we cannot control the schedule making, right? Pittsburgh can only play who's in front of them. Now, it doesn't matter how you do it, it doesn't matter by how much you do it. A win is a win, and out of 12 games, the Pittsburgh Steelers won 11. So I don't think they're overrated. Are they playing their best football right now? Probably not, but they're not overrated. 11-1? No.
Yeah, you know what? I agree they're not overrated, but if you were to ask me, are they overhyped? My answer would be yes. I believe that they are overhyped because you're saying they can't control the schedule, but there's no denying that the schedule they're playing wasn't the toughest.
Right?
So maybe they're a bit overhyped because they were 10-0 up until 11-0 rather up until last week. So yeah, I'd say that they've just gotten so much attention from the mainstream media, something that the Bills haven't gotten much of at all. They're starting to get recognition now. So I'd say they're overhyped, not overrated. Prior to this season, I would have told you that they're underrated. They went 8-8 with their quarterback situation last year, Mason Rudolph, Hodges as well. That was a
Mhm.
mess, and it was a big testament to what their defense can do.
And it's a big testament to their head coach, Mike Tomlin. You've been in the league as a head coach 15, 16 years, and you never had a losing season. You alluded to Hodgins and Mason Rudolph. Both those quarterbacks are basura. That's the Spanish word for trash. I apologize for calling a spade. And the Pittsburgh Steelers was able to finish 500, and that's amazing. So shout out Mike Tomlin, shout out the Pittsburgh Steelers, but not this Sunday. This Sunday we got business to take care of.
We have a lot of business to take care of. So, what would winning this Sunday against the overhyped Pittsburgh Steelers do for our Buffalo Bills?
More media attention. All these years, the Buffalo Bills was a small market team. The Buffalo Bills, they wasn't a good football team, and we always wanted primetime games, and we never got them, and deservingly so. When you're not good, you don't deserve to be looked at. But now that the Buffalo Bills are good, now that we've beaten teams, the media outlets, the media analysts are now saying that the Buffalo Bills need a signature win, right? So Pittsburgh 11-1, this would be that signature win. And if we do come up victorious this Sunday, there are going to be a lot of talks with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills and how they would shake out.
Definitely. I've been hearing it all throughout this past week. Like, First Take, ESPN's First Take, they had a segment of which teams is more important to.
Mm.
Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith, they disagreed. One said the Bills, the other said the Steelers. But I think winning this Sunday for the Bills, just like you said, more media attention, more momentum, and it would just give this team a lot more confidence as well. They've seemed like a confident bunch recently, knocking off the 49ers, who were just in the Super Bowl. Sure, their roster is depleted with injuries, but this would do a lot for this team.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Big game this Sunday night for both teams.
It's huge. And also, something we didn't even point out, the standings, it could change the standings a bit, like not right away, but there's other games on the schedule. So the Bills could clinch a playoff berth this week by a bunch of different things happening.
Scenarios, yep. And if we win this Sunday, we'll be in play for the number 2 seed. We only be one game number 2 seed, so it's a lot to play for, and it's exciting being excited for our team playing on Sunday night.
Exactly. And hey, in December too, meaningful football. We've had it 3 of the last 4 years, and it's gonna be here for a long time, just like Brandon Bean. I'm excited.
Yes, yes.
So the Steelers, they've got a lot of injuries on their roster right now. What do you think is the biggest injury that the Bills need to take advantage of?
Well, the biggest injury, they have a couple of injuries. They have a couple of pretty significant injuries against our football team and how we play football this year. First, Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden, their number one cornerback, uh, he's out with a concussion. We know that Stephon Diggs is a top 5 receiver in this 2020 season. We know the Buffalo Bills receiving corps are one of the better receiving corps in football, and not having your number one corner, we definitely should be able to take advantage of that. Stephon Diggs should definitely go off along with Gabriel Davis and Cole Beasley, because when you don't have your number one corner, it forces other guys to step up in situations that they're not used to stepping up in. And last but not least, the linebackers, Bud Dupree, Devin Bush, Robert Spillane, they're all out. Uh, we seen the trouble the Buffalo Bills had when we was out our starting linebackers, right? Trouble with some spots in the run game, trouble diagnosing plays, and trouble with bootlegs and play action because you lack experience. So those two areas, cornerback and linebacker positions, is places that we have to take advantage of.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm gonna ask a question and I'm gonna answer it myself, and then I want to see what you think. How can they take advantage of these injuries? And there's a couple ways they can take advantage of these injuries. Joe Hayden, you got to target deep. Go to Diggs. Their number one corner being out, that's a huge, significant loss. Bud Dupree, and then Devin Bush and their other linebacker as well.
Mm-hmm.
Attack with the tight ends. That might be a big thing this week. We saw Logan Thomas last week with Washington. I think I think attacking them with Dawson Knox would be a good idea. Run up the gut with some Zach Moss. Get to the second level.
You know what? I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Dawson Knox, he scored touchdowns the last 2 weeks. He's been implemented sparingly the last couple of weeks, and this is another game where he could flash. He could flash in the middle of the football field because those linebackers are lacking in experience and they're not as good as their starting linebackers. Also, the eyes and the discipline, bootlegs, play action, rollouts. We've seen how effective Josh Allen was when he was rolling out to the right and completing passes. Them rollouts can be significant for the Buffalo Bills offense because the linebackers lack the discipline and experience to understand certain plays when they're called at certain points of the game.
Yeah, that's spot on because, as a linebacker coming in, just as a replacement, it's going to be hard to know what's going on at points. You're going to get a lot more confusion from these linebackers. Josh Allen, he's got to be calling some audibles. He's got to pick on these second string players, third string even. He's got to pick on them. And we have to take advantage of these injuries because there's some significant ones.
Most definitely. Even take advantage of our running backs being receivers out the backfield as well. Devin Singletary, Zach Moss, they're both capable receivers out the backfield, and we have some mismatch advantages we could take care of on that retrospect as well.
Also, Pouncey, their center, he's been out for a little while. He's coming back and, getting back into a game motion, game speed. It can be difficult at times for an offensive lineman or for anybody, really. I
Mhm.
say we attack him down the middle with Tremaine Edmonds, send some blitzes because Tremaine Edmonds is going to be a little extra motivated this week because of the Edmonds brothers. Tremaine Edmonds, Trey Edmonds, and Terrell Edmonds. Trey is out this week. He's on IR. He's the running back. So Terrell Edmonds is a safety. Tremaine, we all know who he is.
Yeah. And what an amazing accomplishment from the Edmonds family. Their parents have to be proud. Uh, they're probably wearing split jerseys this Sunday because their boys are playing each other, and it should be a great game, and it's a great time for the Edmonds family. It's something special to see. We saw twin brothers last week with the Moors, with Houston, Texas, and the Detroit Lions. Now we see the Edmonds brothers this week.
Yeah, I think like this is Edmonds is going to go off this week. I'm going to call it right now. Edmonds is going to have a big week this week. I'm going to say he's going to force a fumble or have an interception, one of the two. I'm going to say he's going to have a pick. He's going to have a pick this week, and you know that extra motivation. He's gonna have some bragging rights by the end of this week if he can take home a pick.
You know what? I really hope so. I really hope so. Tremaine Edmonds has been coming along rather nicely these last 4 games. He's showing the sideline abilities that we've hoped to see all season long, and we are going to need another big performance from our middle linebacker this Sunday.
Absolutely, we are. But I want to talk a bit more about the Steelers and their lineup. Who on the Pittsburgh Steelers is your player to watch?
Well, the player to watch, in my opinion, it's rather obvious now, right? We just said Bud Dupree is out. We said a couple of other guys are out, but the one key guy still remaining is T.J. Watt. And T.J. Watt, we all know is a budding superstar. And I've been saying this all season. The Buffalo Bills, when they play superstars, those superstars usually show up in a major way. So I'm concerned with TJ Watt. 14 and a half sacks last year, 43 sacks over the course of 4 years, 12 sacks this year. I think he's going to eclipse that 14 and a half sack mark this year. So he's definitely a guy we're going to have to keep an eye on, and we're going to have to point him out. You know how the offensive linemen point him out, and Josh Allen points him out? We're going to have to point him out each and every place so we know where he's at.
Absolutely, I agree with you. He's definitely the player to watch this game. TJ Watt is an animal. He's a beast. That guy's scary. I wouldn't want to go up against that guy. And
So
he's
I want to ask you, Jacob. I apologize for cutting you off. If anybody's listening, if anybody's tuning in, I want to get people's opinions as well. Who would you rather have? Since we've been talking about all this brotherly love with the Edmonds and all that, who would you rather have between the Watt brothers and the Bosa brothers? Who would you rather have on your front for manning those edges?
I'm going with the Watt brothers. The Watt brothers bring a different level of intensity, leadership, and fiery attitude. Like the Bosa brothers, don't get me wrong, they're superb. They're great at what they do. They're elite. But the Watt brothers, it's just a different animal. They can flip the switch and become a totally different person. Like off field, JJ Watt does all this stuff in Houston, and then when he goes on the field, he's just an animal.
You know, I like it. I like it. You honestly, you couldn't go wrong with either duo, right? But when I think of the Watt brothers, I think of and maybe Bosa being hurt from San Francisco may have something to do with it, you know? Who knows? We're not seeing him, prisoner of the moment. But even when I think of JJ Watt back in his prime, JJ Watt was in his prime up there with Aaron Donald when we talk about football players and their talent and skill. And he was dominant at one point in time. And when he's healthy, he still can produce at a high level. So because of JJ Watt, and I love TJ, but because of JJ, his accomplishments and the budding star of TJ Watt, I will go with the Watts as well.
Yeah, that was a great question. We got some answers here, and I'm kind of surprised by this. Bosa from Joseph Clark.
Nice job.
Bosa.
Hey, hey,
Bosa's. That defense would be terrifying.
nice.
Bosa's. They're Italian. Bosa's are more intense. I disagree, but
Hey,
okay.
we got a lot of Bosas. We got a lot of Bosas. And again, a part of the reason why I go Watts is because I just feel that they've accomplished more. It's more with JJ, but they have more accomplishments in the NFL. Whereas Bosa, he's hurt. Uh, he's now starting his career. We know he's a great pass rusher, but he didn't produce those great numbers that we want to see yet. So it's definitely interesting, and you can't go wrong either way. So I can't get mad at Bosa's at all.
And you know what? Uh, I'm gonna take the Watts, and I'm gonna add another Watt because there's another Watt. He's a fullback, I believe. What's his first
Uh
name? I
oh.
can't. Everything good? All good? I'm gonna say the Watts. Derek Watt. That's his name.
Yeah, you there, Jacob?
Yeah, I'm there. You hear me?
Derek Watt. Yep.
Derek Watt. Yeah, because that's just an extra body. But whatever. Off topic. Let's move forward here. Um, I'm gonna give you a because we were saying the injuries that the Bills need to take care of. I'm gonna give you an over/under prop that I made. Joe Hayden being injured, their number one corner. All these pass rushers being out as well.
Hmm.
Stephon Diggs. Do you have him over or under 115 receiving yards this week?
Stephon Diggs over.
I'm
over
going over.
over 115 yards. We just got the news. I didn't know early in the week, but we just got the news earlier today. Joe Hayden is out because now don't get me wrong, they have excellent safeties. Edmonds, Minka Fitzpatrick. I'm pretty sure one of those safeties is going to be shading over a lot of the times in the game to try to help out on Stephon Diggs. But 115 yards is not much for Stephon Diggs. His problem is actually getting in the end zone.
Mhm.
So I'm going to go over on the 115 yards.
Yeah, I'm going over too. I think that this is just a big opportunity. It's a big game. Nighttime, prime time. Allen's going to come out and he's going to go for his guy, Stephon Diggs. Easily over 115 receiving yards, I think. Like you said, Fitzpatrick and Edmonds, they're great safeties, but Hayden and then those linebackers being out as well,
And,
that's going to be detrimental to them.
And it's going to be interesting what they do, man, because they like to blitz as well. And when you blitz, you got to play that man coverage. And I'm not sure if their corners are going to be able to hold up on our receivers. So I'm interested to see what type of game plan the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to come with, because I do rate their coaching ability rather high. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, they'll game plan for Diggs for sure. Let's get to some comments here, some replies. Joseph Clark under. Our guy Jeff Davis over. And then Jeff says, I think Allen puts another clinic on. Absolutely, I think so too. And I'm going to give you a fun fact about Josh Allen after I read this comment and reply to it. Joseph Clark says, Klein is underrated. Jake, you said he was crap. I never said that. I said he was a liability in pass coverage.
Mhm.
I said this a couple months ago. Where's that trash talk now? AJ Klein, hey man. I mean, all of Bill's Mafia, to be fair, was on this guy. And I'm not going to back my stance about his pass coverage. He's definitely stepped it up. We saw him break up a pass last week. But AJ Klein, he's definitely improved his play a lot, and we've seen him get to the quarterback a bunch.
And again, I really like AJ Klein. I think as an individual, he did step his game up tremendously. But again, AJ Klein was with the New Orleans Saints last year. He was with another system, another organization. He come over to the Buffalo Bills during a pandemic. Us as fans, we don't really take these things into account. We just see productivity on the football field, and we want to see the results. But in reality, it takes time for your coach and your player to familiarize themselves with each other. And it took Leslie Frazier some time to understand what type of player AJ Klein is. It took time to understand what his strengths and what his weaknesses are. And once we found that out, we was able to put AJ Klein in the position to make plays. So that's what's going on and the progression with AJ Klein.
It's the Klein model we learned. So, I mean, I think AJ Klein, he's been exceptional the past 5 weeks or so, maybe 6. He's been exceptional. He's stepped up his game, and we've figured out how to utilize him perfectly. The same goes for a lot of our defensive line, I think, though. Like at the beginning of the year specifically, still somewhat, we see it. This defensive line had a complete overhaul, and everything you were just saying about the pandemic, they have to deal with a lot, learning a new system. That overhaul on defensive line, I believe that had a huge factor on their performance at the beginning of the season as well.
And yeah, we could definitely attest to it. Everybody's getting acclimated. Is not an easy situation that they're facing. Us as fans, we're not looking at the intricacies, and we're not looking in between the lines of what these football players go through, but they are going through it. And Vernon Butler has been flashing these last couple of weeks, right? Daryl Johnson has been flashing these last couple of weeks. So it's taking some time, but we're starting to see flashes. It's not quite 2019, but some flashes are definitely there.
We're getting there for sure. And I got a comment I want to get to from Braden. Josh Allen reminds me of Big Ben. I just made a video on this yesterday about why I believe Josh Allen's going to have a better career than Ben Roethlisberger. After this is done, you can go check it out on the Bills Bunker. Akeem, you want to take this?
Am I the only one that don't see that? I don't I don't see in the beginning, I saw it because on the outer surface, Big Ben, his name is Big Ben, so he's a big guy. Josh Allen, he's a big guy. So those two big guys, we see the resemblance, right? But when you look into it, I really don't see it. Ben Roethlisberger is not as mobile. He's not going to take off and run. Ben Roethlisberger, the Pittsburgh Steelers had 4th and 1 on numerous occasions, and Ben Roethlisberger doesn't run quarterback sneak. So, in my opinion, the moxie's a little different because me as an individual, I would think that Josh Allen would call a quarterback sneak himself there. So I think the attitude is a little bit different. I think the mobilities between the quarterbacks are a little bit different, and I just think they're just different players. Josh Allen reminds me of Josh Allen.
Yeah, perfect. You said that last week, and I used that in the video yesterday. Josh Allen is Josh Allen. If you, I'm gonna say some stats here. I said it in the video as well. Josh Allen has more career rushing yards and touchdowns than Ben Roethlisberger already. And the Friday fun fact of the day I was gonna get to was about Josh Allen. I'll put it up here now. Friday's fun fact is Josh Allen can tie Ben Roethlisberger's career high of 37 total touchdowns in a season with 4 this Sunday. Do you think that's a possibility?
For this Sunday, I definitely think it's a possibility. The Buffalo Bills are an explosive offense. He can do it either with his arm or he can do it with his legs. And that just goes to show, as great as Big Ben is, his career high is 37 touchdowns in a 16-year career. Josh Allen is in his third year. And even if he doesn't do it on Sunday, he's going to eclipse Ben Roethlisberger 37 touchdowns.
Definitely.
He might even smash that shit.
Oh yeah.
So, I find those things very interesting.
We got a super chat from Brooke. Shout out to Brooke again. She says, I think they're similar, but I think Josh is like a much younger Big Ben.
Hey, I'm not opposed to it. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Shout out Brooke. She's been doing a tremendous job keeping up with us, and she's very knowledgeable. And I'm not opposed to it at all.
So, if anyone has any more questions about Big Ben and Josh Allen, I want you to post them up here because this is an interesting topic to talk about. But let's go around the NFL in the meantime. By that, we're going to preview some of the games, well, every game this upcoming weekend, and we'll tell you who we believe is going to win. So let's start off with the Houston Texans at the Chicago Bears.
You know what? I like the Houston Texans in this game. Bill O'Brien is no longer the head coach, so they're playing much better. The Bears have two quarterbacks over there. So when you essentially have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. I like Houston in that one.
I like Houston too. They have an offense, right?
Yep.
The Bears they're not with the times. Titans at Jags.
Tennessee.
Yeah. Got to go with the Titans. Broncos, Panthers in Carolina.
Well, this is an interesting one because everybody that watches the show knows when we talk about the Broncos, I always say Drew Lock is not that good. But I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is that great either. I know he has a high completion percentage, but I don't think he's that great of a quarterback. All in all, I'm still going to go Panthers over Broncos.
I'm on Panthers over Broncos too. I like what the Panthers have done with Teddy Bridgewater. I think in a different division they'd have a better record. And we got some comments here before we keep going. Who has the strongest arm in the league? Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen.
That's funny you said that. We're working on something. I don't know if it's going to pan out, but we're going to attempt to work on it. I don't know. I'm not sure. I like how we always talk about Josh Allen. I like how we always talk about Pat Mahomes, but I'm also inclined to throw Matthew Stafford in there as well. Matthew Stafford has a canning for an arm, and I know that these guys, the younger guys, are taking over and to be talked about. But let's not forget about some other guys as well. And I would put Matthew Stafford in that mix as well.
That's interesting, but my response is who has their own cereal, right? Josh Allen.
Josh,
You don't get your own cereal without a strong arm. So more comments. Joseph Clark, my guy, is this the biggest game for the Bills this year?
My answer is yes. This is the biggest game for the Bills this year. Why? Because it is the next opponent on the schedule. And guess what? Next week against the Denver Broncos, it's going to be the biggest game of the year for the Bills again next week.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I was gonna give a different answer. I was gonna say prior to the season, I would have said Kansas City, but you're right. It's always the next game mentality. So yes, this is the biggest game of the year for the Bills.
I fell a part of the culture. I'm processed.
Trust the process. We got some all about the Bills.
My brother Draper, what's going on, brother?
Make sure you check his channel out if you haven't already. And Joseph says Texans over the Bears, Texans over the Bears, Texans over the
Excellent.
Bears.
Like it, like it. Who else is up?
We are moving on to Cowboys at Bengals.
Ooh, I don't even know if I would watch this game for free.
You got
I
the Andy Dalton revenge tour.
yeah, there you go. Andy Dalton's playing. Let's go Cowboys.
That's
Let,
that's what I was saying too.
let's go Cowboys.
I never pick the Cowboys,
Me
but
neither. Me
took,
neither. And I felt weird saying let's go Cowboys. It was awkward.
I hope they lose so I can say, how about them Cowboys?
That's some funny shit.
Chiefs at Dolphins.
We gonna go Chiefs here. We gotta go Chiefs here. You know, but I'm having this feeling about the Dolphins. I think they're going to come play. I think they're going to come ready to play this game.
Yeah.
Something tells me that the Dolphins are going to put on a performance. Is the performance going to be good enough to win? I don't know. But I think they're going to perform on Sunday, but I still got the Chiefs for biased reasoning, of course.
See, I was literally before we went on air, I was thinking the exact same thing. Like I have a weird feeling about the Dolphins this week, pulling some stuff, but I
Yeah.
gotta go KC. I can't bet against Mahomes ever.
Nah.
Chiefs. Brooks says Chiefs. Duh.
Oh, yeah.
Sledge hockey 101. The Dolphins. Hey. Next we have Cardinals at Giants.
Oh, man, this is actually more difficult than a lot of people realize. I think Joe Judge is sneaking up the ranks for coach of the year. I like what their offensive coordinator is doing. I noticed that what was happening with the Dallas Cowboys may not be all Jared. Uh, but Kyler Murray, man, that running offense, let's go Arizona.
I gotta go with Arizona too. And Joseph Clark says what you've said. Giants are winning the division.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Vikings at Tampa Bay.
The Vikings have been playing well lately. And you know what not upsets me, but it kind of gets me going a little bit every time I see the Vikings and they perform now is Justin Jefferson's better than Stephon Diggs. Justin Jefferson's better than Stephon Diggs. Why? They're separated by 2 yards and 30 receptions. If a win If a win-win was people, it would be Justin Jefferson and Stephon Diggs because it's a win-win for both players and both organizations. And that's it. Let's stop with these damn comparisons for this year.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna say Tampa Bay takes this game.
Tampa as well.
But before we move on from this game, I want to ask you a question. Like prior to this year's draft, before we even traded for Diggs, were you hoping we'd draft a receiver with the first round pick?
It was in my opinion, it was a necessity.
And
It,
what receiver did you have a receiver on your radar that you wanted?
so Justin Jefferson was a player that I really liked,
Me too.
but my favorite receiver that I saw is not even really talked about this year, Denzel Mims. I really liked what I saw out of Denzel Mims. The kid he's a runner 4-3. He can block. He has tremendous hands. He go up and gets it at and high points the ball. I really like what I saw from Denzel Mims, and then Justin Jefferson came right behind Denzel Mims. But that was me.
I gotta be honest. Justin Jefferson was the guy for me. I wanted Jefferson, but when I saw we traded for Diggs, I was like, throw that out of here. Jefferson's a great receiver. Don't get
He's a
me wrong.
he's a great receiver. And you know what's scary about that situation with Justin Jefferson? Last year with the LSU Tigers, he wasn't even the best receiver on his team. LSU has a receiver named Javon Chase, who is actually better than Justin Jefferson. And I can't wait to see what he does when he comes in the league. And Justin Jefferson is a tremendous player, man.
I honestly I did not know that about LSU's receiver there.
Yeah, Javon
Um,
Chase. Listen out for him this season, this offseason.
you heard it here, Javon Chase. So moving on to the next game, we got Indianapolis Colts at Las Vegas.
I got the Colts here.
It's called Las Vegas for a reason.
Yeah, I got the Colts here. The Raiders, they looked real shaky against the Jets. They got punished against the Falcons. I'm gonna go Colts. Let's do it.
The Raiders are pulling a Raiders. Jets at Seahawks. Is there any chance the Jets win this?
There is a chance. The chance is the percentages is in the single percent, but there is a chance because there's something quite not right. Even though they're 8-4, there's something quite not right with the Seahawks. But all in all, it's the New York Jets. They have Adam Gase running the show. So, Seattle.
And their D coordinator's gone now too against Seahawks. Russell Wilson. Good luck.
And then Jamal Adams is going to want to have 10 sacks that game.
Oh, I didn't even think about that either.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's going to want to play big.
And Jaden Steen with the upset here. Jets over the Seahawks. Respect, I guess.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, Jada. We'll see.
All about the Bills, Seahawks. Let's move on to the next one. A divisional matchup in the NFC North. Packers at Detroit.
You know, divisional game. I'm gonna go Packers here.
Yeah, Packers.
Yeah, I gotta
Packers
go
all the way.
Packers here. Hmm.
Can't go against Aaron Rodgers. Falcons at Los Angeles Chargers.
I think they both have an offense. I'm going to go with the Falcons because they fired their coach, Quinn. And I believe right now their interim coach is a better coach and has his team better equipped than Anthony Lynn. So because of that, I go Atlanta.
Yeah, I see what you're saying about the coaching, but I'm gonna go on the other side. The Chargers, they just got blown out 45-0 by New England, and Justin Herbert. I don't think he can contain him for that long. I think he's gonna go off on the Falcons this week.
Is it possible that the Buffalo Bills gave the New England Patriots a blueprint to that game and that's why they were so successful?
I think it's very possible. Bill Belichick definitely watched the whole game. He watched that whole game over for sure.
Most definitely.
Joseph Clark, Falcons.
Falcons.
Falcons. Interesting. We have 3 more games on the schedule, and then we're going to get into our fun segment called Flag or No Flag. It's going to be a fun segment, so you want to stay tuned for that. Saints at Philadelphia Eagles.
You gotta go, you gotta go to Saints here. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued with the matchup just because Jalen Hurts is starting. So since Jalen Hurts is starting, I'm intrigued with the matchup. But the Saints, And the Saints, everybody's glorifying the Saints. They've been getting backup quarterbacks. They've been getting teams no quarterbacks. They've been real fortunate in their situations. But New Orleans take this game.
Yeah, I gotta go New Orleans too. I think that defense, it could get ugly for Jalen Hurts back there. Washington football team at the San Francisco 49ers. At Arizona.
Yeah, at Arizona. I think this is going to be a good football game.
I
This
do
is
too.
this is one game I do want to watch because both these teams are physical. I like the brand of football they play. Uh, I'm going to go San Francisco in this game. I think Kyle Shanahan he's a little upset. He's going to have his guys ready to go on offense, and I don't think Alex Smith is going to keep up with the 49ers this week.
I'm going with the Washington football team. I like what they're doing, and
Nice.
I've got a bet on them winning the NFC East. I placed it at the beginning of the year, actually, so it would be a pretty nice payout. So let's go cheering for Washington in this game.
Okay.
Personal reasons.
I don't
Last
blame you.
last game on the schedule, and it's a divisional matchup between the Ravens and Cleveland. Who do you have this week?
I have the Ravens. Every time the Ravens been playing the Browns, the Ravens not only beat them, the Ravens dominate them. So until I see Cleveland actually do anything else, I have to go with Baltimore.
Yeah, I've got to go Baltimore too. I don't think Cleveland's gonna follow up their big win against Tennessee with another win against the divisional rivals in the Ravens. I just don't see it.
Never know, you never know. Confidence is all about confidence. That's one thing the Cleveland Browns do have right now. They have a ton of confidence. And when you have a ton of confidence, you can play much better than you actually are. So we'll see.
It's true, and the Bills are playing with a lot of confidence. So going into the Steelers week with a lot of confidence. And if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button. Hit the notification bell. You'll be notified every time we're here live on the Bills Bunker or on Built in Buffalo's YouTube channels. This goes on Spotify. It's all over the place. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Check us
Everywhere.
out everywhere. And we're going to get into our fun segment. Let's see some comments here. Uh, Cleveland over Baltimore, Browns, Ravens, Browns, Ravens. So it's a back and forth
Mm-hmm.
divisional matchup. You'd expect that.
Yep.
Um, so we're gonna get into our fun segment. This is personally one of my favorite segments to do. It's very fun. It's called Flag or No Flag, and basically we are going over some of the worst or best calls in the NFL this week, and we're gonna be the referees. We're gonna tell you if we believe these are flags or not flags, and then we're gonna go over what they actually were on the field. So let's start off with one from the Bills San Francisco game.
Ball's gone, take a step and a half, and that's a good.
Flag or no flag? And this was called a flag.
And the Academy Award for best flop by a quarterback on the football field is Josh Allen. That was a flag, but he sold it. He really sold it. He looked like LeBron James on the football field, didn't he?
Honestly, I didn't think he sold it. Like I thought he honestly, what's the point in hitting the guy when he's going out of bounds or gonna throw it? He's literally at the sideline, so that's a blatant flag in my eyes.
Yeah, it was definitely a flag. It was definitely a flag, but it was just a little, the little. I just, yeah, that right there was a little extra.
Yeah, let's play it again. Maybe I'll see.
Ball's gone, take a step and a half, and that's a good.
Okay, okay, okay. A little bit.
A little bit.
Josh doesn't go down that easy. So yeah, sure. We got two more. Let's go to Green Bay at Lambeau. Flag or no flag?
Nah, I didn't see anything. That's no flag. Our guy Dawson Knox do it all the time. So if I like when Dawson Knox do it, who is me to say flag all of a sudden when another team do it? I don't see no flag. He's offense. He's not defense. If he was playing defense, that's a flag. As far as I'm concerned, he was playing offense. No flag.
Well, there was the one in the Rams game where Josh Allen had a face mask penalty for stiff arming.
Oh
I
yeah, he
mean
did. He did. That's right.
that is, just so you know, that was not called a face mask, and
That,
that play went for a touchdown. I think it's got to be a flag.
I mean, it's blatant as ever. That is, they saw it. You had to see it, so it was
Yeah.
blatant as ever.
We got some comments, and these are about the Allen one. Flag.
Hmm.
Allen sold that perfectly. He
Sold
did.
it.
He sold it. Flag. Darnold would never flop. No, he only falls by himself. Uh, Face mask, clearly. Yep.
Yep.
Josh sold it. That's a flag. So we got one more here, and it is coming from the Miami Dolphins Cincinnati Bengals game. And this one, there's a lot to talk about. We'll get to it after.
What's happening to Randy Bullock is that play clock is going down. The officiating.
Play that one more time.
What's happening to Randy Bullock is that play clock is going down. The officiating.
So, growing up and watching sports over the years, it is never the first guy that throws a blow that gets the flag. It is always the second guy. So, if I'm not mistaken, I believe both those players was ejected.
Yep. Both Howard and Boyd, I believe.
Yeah, and I think that the ref actually made the right call there. Eject both of them. You saw both, eject both. Right call.
Yeah, that's fair. I would have said that I think that retaliating is the lesser of the two. I mean, Boyd's punch didn't look as bad as the one coming from the Miami player. But yeah, you're right. Both should be flagged. So it's a double whammy on the flag call there.
And both players just have to be smarter in that situation. You just gotta be a little smarter in that situation. Boy could have been a little smarter. After he hit you, you walk away. You got him already. He's flagged. Walk away.
Definitely. That's what the McDermott like culture they preach, discipline, and that's something that we've seen since they've came in here, and I think that's a huge part of the football game.
100% agree.
So if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button and hit the notification bell. We're approaching the end of the show. Don't really have much else to talk about. So if you want any last topics, make sure you comment them real quick. Otherwise, we're going to get out of here. Hey, Rich, anything you want to say?
Yeah. Friday Night Live. Bill's Bunker. Built in Buffalo. This is something that we're going to be doing more going forward. Myself, Jacob, we have a blast doing this. We have a blast interacting with other Buffalo Bills fans. We're going to do our job once again. I say it every week, and I'm going to say it every week until I can't say it anymore. We're going to stay consistently consistent in bringing the best content we can possibly bring. That's each and every time we come on the show. We appreciate the people tuning in today. And Billsology tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Myself, Dave, my brother Colt, we will be discussing and going in depth with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills. Until then.
I know I'll be there in the comments section, staying active. Hopefully, we got some of the same viewers here staying active in the comments. It's going to be a great show. And make sure you watch out for us next Tuesday and next Friday as well. We got one more question before we head out here from Sledge Hockey 101. Do you worry about the Bills' discipline in big games?
It's tough. It's tough. You worry. You worry, especially if if the refs are not doing you any favors. Levi Wallace, the first play last week when San Francisco tried to go deep. I know Levi Wallace struggled throughout the game, struggled mightily throughout the game, but that first deep pass when he called pass interference, that was not a flag. That was not pass interference. Let the grown ass men play football. Uh, but am I worried? No, I'm not worried right now, but it's always a concern.
I'll say this. There have been times this season where hell yes. So I mean yes, I definitely I worry about our discipline in big games, and it's not just the big games; it's every game. Honestly, like we're a pretty disciplined football team, but it's the little things like the pre-snap penalties. Gabe Davis has had 2 touchdowns called back this year. Diggs had 2 in the Jets game alone to start the season.
Hmm.
There's a couple times where we've just shot ourselves in the foot. I think that we're starting to clean it up, getting closer to the playoffs, and we have to continue doing that.
That's what I'm worried about more. You said that greatly. Great. You said shot ourselves in the foot. That's what we have to avoid at all costs as a football team. The Zach Moss fumble is shooting ourselves in the foot. Illegal motion penalties and we scoring touchdowns, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. Interceptions, fumbles, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. And those are the mistakes that we have to avoid in order to go where we want to go.
Definitely. And I think that this team, there's high aspirations. Obviously, we all have high expectations for this team. It's going to be exciting to see it all come to fruition. I'm excited for this game, and I'm excited for the future games as well. We could clinch a playoff spot this week. Let's hope for some certain teams to lose and a big Bills win. Till next time, hey Rich, you want to close it out?
Hey, Rich Hakeem Richards, my brother Jacob, Bill's Bunker. Tuesday we right back at it again. 9:30. We're going to have a lot of things to discuss, a lot of things to go over. Hopefully, it'll be with a victory, and we can't wait to get back at it. So Tuesday 9:30. Can't wait to see y'all.
We'll see you then.